Have you ever sat quietly with a cup of tea, looking out the window, and wondered how many years you might have left? Not in a fearful way, just a simple, curious question. Maybe you've lost a few friends or seen neighbors get sick, and you've caught yourself asking, "Am I next?" Or maybe, deep down, you feel different. You wake up with energy, you still laugh easily, and you don't feel nearly as old as your birth certificate says. Here's the good news: there are quiet, surprising signs that some people, maybe even you, are built for a longer ride. I'm not talking about climbing mountains or running marathons. I'm talking about small, meaningful things that science has started to uncover. The kind of things that make someone in their 70s feel more like they're still in their 50s. And no, it's not all about good genes. It turns out, the way you live, the way you think, and even the way you connect with others can be powerful indicators of how long, and how well, you'll live. So let's talk about 5 subtle but powerful signs that you might just live longer than most people your age. And as we go through them, I invite you to think about yourself. You might discover that you're doing a lot better than you think. Let's start with one of the most surprising signs: you enjoy learning new things. Now, I don't mean you have to be solving algebra problems or learning to speak Italian, unless you want to, of course. I'm talking about that spark inside you that still gets curious. Maybe you love trying new recipes, figuring out your smartphone, or asking your grandkids to explain how TikTok works. That willingness to engage your brain, to be mentally flexible, is a powerful sign of longevity. Studies have shown that older adults who continue to challenge their minds through reading, puzzles, learning skills, or even just staying curious in conversations, tend to have lower rates of dementia and live longer. Your brain, just like your muscles, needs to be exercised. And when it stays active, it supports your overall health. People who remain mentally engaged often maintain better balance, better sleep, and even better heart health. It's all connected. So if you're the type who says, "I've never tried this before, but I'm going to give it a shot," pat yourself on the back. You're nurturing something truly valuable. Now here's another sign you might live longer: you have a positive outlook on aging. This one might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Let me ask you, how do you feel when someone mentions getting older? Do you cringe a little and say things like, "Everything's downhill after 70"? Or do you smile and say, "Well, I'm still kicking, and I've got more wisdom than ever"? It turns out that your beliefs about aging can shape how your body actually ages. Researchers at Yale found that people who had a positive view of aging lived, on average, 7.5 years longer than those with a negative view. That's not a typo, 7.5 years. Here's why: when you see aging as a natural, even beautiful part of life, you're more likely to take care of yourself. You move your body, nourish your relationships, and stay involved in your community. On the flip side, if you believe aging is just a slow decline, your brain and body start to believe that too. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you're watching this video, chances are you already carry a sense of hope about the future. And that matters. So even if your knees ache a little more than they used to, or your memory slips here and there, your attitude might be giving you extra years, good years. Now let's talk about a third sign, one that's often overlooked: you maintain strong social ties. This doesn't mean you have to be a social butterfly or host weekly parties. It means you have people you feel connected to. Someone you can call when you're having a rough day. Someone who'll notice if you don't show up to church or your weekly walk. Even having just 1 or 2 close relationships can make a huge difference. Loneliness is more than just a sad feeling, it's a health risk. Studies show that chronic loneliness increases the risk of early death even more than smoking or obesity. But here's the flip side: people who stay socially engaged, whether through friendships, volunteering, church groups, or even regular phone calls, tend to live longer, recover faster from illness, and feel more purpose in their day-to-day life. If you're someone who enjoys connecting with others, even in small ways, that's a powerful predictor of longevity. And if you've been feeling a little more isolated lately, know this: it's never too late to reach out. Join a club. Start a walking group. Send that text or make that phone call. Your heart, and your future will thank you for it. As we continue, I want you to remember this isn't about perfection. It's not about having every habit nailed down or doing everything right. It's about noticing the things you're already doing that are helping you live a longer, better life, and maybe gently adding a few more. We've already touched on curiosity, mindset, and connection, 3 powerful clues that your body and spirit are still thriving in ways that matter. But there's more to uncover. Let's keep going. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. And if you've made it this far, that already tells me something. You care about your health, your future, and living fully. And honestly, that mindset alone puts you ahead of the curve. Let's keep going, because the next sign you might outlive most people your age is something a lot of folks overlook, but it makes a world of difference. You keep moving. I'm not talking about running marathons or hitting the gym every day. I'm talking about staying active in the ways that matter to you. Maybe you take a morning walk around the block. Maybe you like to dance while you clean the house. Maybe you just stretch your legs every hour instead of staying glued to the couch all afternoon. Whatever it is, if movement is a regular part of your life, you are doing something powerful for your body. You see, staying active helps your heart pump stronger, keeps your muscles from weakening, and even supports your brain. Yes, movement is tied to memory, balance, and mood. Studies have shown that people over 60 who stay physically active tend to live longer and enjoy a better quality of life. But here's the key: it doesn't have to be hard. In fact, forcing yourself to do workouts you hate can actually backfire. The secret is finding what feels good and doing it often. One woman I know, named Lane, she's 74. She doesn't jog, she doesn't go to any fancy yoga classes. But every morning, she tends her little garden. She squats, reaches, pulls, and waters. It keeps her body nimble, her mind peaceful, and gives her a reason to get up each day with purpose. That's movement with meaning, and that's the kind of habit that can quietly add years to your life. So if you're already someone who moves a little every day, no matter how small, give yourself a gold star. You're building strength, resilience, and independence with every step. Now, let's talk about another big sign that you might outlive your peers, and it's not about the body at all. It's about something a little more invisible, but just as powerful: how you handle stress. Here's the truth: stress ages us. And not just emotionally. Chronic stress can actually damage our cells, mess with our immune system, and wear down our organs over time. But the good news? It's not the stress itself that shortens life, it's how we respond to it. Some people let stress control them. Every little worry becomes a mountain. They bottle things up, snap at others, or lose sleep night after night. But others, maybe like you, have learned how to manage stress in a healthier way. Maybe you journal when something's bothering you. Maybe you call a friend and talk it out. Maybe you pray, meditate, or simply take a few deep breaths and remind yourself that this too shall pass. These coping tools aren't just feel-good habits, they're survival tools. They protect your heart, your immune system, and your overall longevity. I met a gentleman named Arthur who told me something that stuck with me. He said, "When I turned 70, I decided to stop worrying about things I can't change. I focus on what I can do, and I leave the rest to God." Arthur is now 86 and going strong. Still walks to the cafe every morning, still smiles like a man with no regrets. If you've developed ways to calm your mind and protect your peace, that's a big sign your body is aging slower, inside and out. Long life isn't just about what you eat or how much you move. It's also about how you carry the weight of the world, and when to put it down. And speaking of peace, there's another subtle but beautiful sign you might live longer than most. You have strong social connections. Now don't get me wrong, This doesn't mean you have to be the life of the party or have dozens of friends. It's about having someone, even just one person, you feel truly connected to. Someone who listens, supports you, laughs with you, or simply shares your life's quiet moments. Loneliness can be deadly. Research has shown that chronic loneliness can increase your risk of heart disease, depression, even dementia. But people who feel connected, who have a sense of belonging, tend to live longer and feel more fulfilled. So if you have a close friend, a neighbor you check in with, a sibling you talk to often, or even a pet that gives you comfort and routine, that counts. Human beings are wired for connection. And those little moments, a warm hug, a shared laugh, a good conversation, they do something healing to the body. You don't have to be surrounded by a crowd. You just need meaningful connection. One man I met, Tam, 78, lost his wife years ago. But every Tuesday, he plays chess with an old friend in the park. He says those afternoons keep him young. And I believe it. So let's take a moment and check in with ourselves. Are you moving your body a little every day? Are you managing stress in a healthy way? Do you have at least one person you feel connected to? If you answered yes to any of those, you're on the right track. Because longevity isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, joy, and keeping your mind and body engaged in life. And you're doing just that. Let's keep this going. There's one more powerful sign I want to share with you. And if this one sounds like you, well, you might just be the kind of person who inspires others with how gracefully you age. And here's something that often gets overlooked, your ability to find joy in the little things. You might not think of laughter, curiosity, or a childlike sense of wonder as signs of longevity, but they're powerful indicators. There's something deeply life-giving about the way some people, even in their 70s or 80s, can giggle at a silly joke, find beauty in a blooming flower, or sit quietly watching birds as if it's the first time. That kind of emotional openness is linked to better mental health, lower stress hormones, and a stronger immune system. Scientists have even found that people who smile more genuinely, not just forced grins, but those real, eye-crinkling smiles, often live longer. It's like the body recognizes joy and says, okay, let's stick around for a while longer. If you're someone who can still laugh, still play, still be amazed by the world, even after all you've been through, that's not just beautiful. It's a strength. And it's a strength that seems to help people live longer, richer lives. But here's a final one that might surprise you even more, your sense of purpose. You know, that reason to get up in the morning. For some, it's tending to a garden. For others, it's taking care of a pet, volunteering at a local charity, cooking meals for the grandkids, or simply calling a friend who needs cheering up. It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. In fact, it often isn't. But that quiet sense of I matter and someone is counting on me, that's powerful. Studies from Japan, especially among the Okinawan centenarians, talk about something called ikigai, your reason for being. It turns out that people who feel they have a purpose in life tend to live longer. Their minds stay sharper. Their hearts beat more steadily. Their bodies heal more quickly. It's almost as if purpose is the fuel that keeps the engine running, even when the parts are getting old. And if you're listening right now and thinking, well, I don't know if I have a purpose anymore, I want you to know something, it's never too late to rediscover it. You don't need to go save the world. Sometimes your purpose is simply to smile at someone who hasn't seen a smile in days. Sometimes it's to share your stories, your wisdom, your presence. You've lived through so much, and that experience is priceless. Maybe your purpose now is to be a light for someone else who's still walking through the dark. So, if you've got a strong purpose, a joyful spirit, meaningful connections, a healthy curiosity about life, and you take care of yourself with love and consistency, then guess what? You just might live longer than most people your age. Not because you're trying to defy time, but because you're living aligned with what truly matters. Now, let's be honest, none of us have a crystal ball. We can't predict exactly how many years we have left. But we can choose how we live the years we do have. And maybe that's the most important message of all. Longevity isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. So don't wait for someone to tell you you're doing great. You already are. Every time you show up for yourself, when you walk a little farther, laugh a little louder, reach out to someone new, or just take a moment to breathe deeply and enjoy the day, you're investing in your future self. And that's something to be proud of. If you've been nodding along, maybe seeing yourself in these signs, I hope you feel encouraged today. You're not just getting older, you're getting wiser, stronger, and, in many ways, better. And if you're thinking, well, I've still got some work to do, that's okay too. Growth doesn't stop at 60 or 70 or even 90. As long as you're breathing, you've got time to keep becoming the best version of yourself. Let this be your gentle reminder, you are not too old, and it is not too late. Whether you're 62 or 82, there's still time to laugh more, love deeper, move your body with care, nourish your relationships, and wake up every day with a reason to smile. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you see any of these signs in your own life? Or maybe you've noticed a different habit or mindset that's helped you feel stronger with age. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else watching right now. And if this message resonated with you, consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. We've got so many more uplifting, practical tips coming your way, all designed to help you thrive, not just survive, through your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Here's to living your longest, healthiest, happiest life, one purposeful, joyful day at a time. You've got this.